Welcome to Plainfield. This is where the Vandalia Trail crosses Vestal Road, and it's also where the location of the Plainfield Aquatic and Recreation Center is located. From here, we will begin a tour of various trails in Plainfield, beginning with the Vandalia Trail and then running eastward downhill. There's a curve, a straight stretch, which parallels the old Vandalia Railroad, or what was called the Pennsylvania Railroad. We leave the line of the railroad and turn south to the junction with Whitelet Creek. We're on the west side, which is opposite Franklin Park. As we head south, we're going to go under Highway 40. This actually is the old National Road, and we'll come upward and then go by the new pedestrian bridge, which goes into downtown Plainfield. Then we bear right, still following the river south. We go along the state property for the old boys' school. This was the juvenile center. Then we curve on an old bridge across Whitelet Creek. This area has a wonderful habitat of birds and animals. There are lots of insects. It's a wonderful place to study during the summer. Then we cross the creek to enter Friendship Park. It has many different gazebos and other sites where weddings and many celebrations are held every year. Then we turn onto Center Road Trail. This is something of a variation of Whitelet Creek. It goes southward by Anderson Park. There's a skateboard area here as well. From Anderson Park, we head south again to Hummel Park. Then you follow the one-way path. You have to go in a clockwise direction in order to pedal around the perimeter to the west side. Then you come to a long, narrow, pedestrians-only bridge crossing. This is called the Red Maple Trail. Here in Hummel Park, many people go to the river to cool off. They splash in the water. It's great fun in the summer. Once you get to the west side, you find two trails. The first of these two trails is short, and it's the Cottonwood Trail. It runs to the north. It circles through woods on a rustic, scenic, quiet path that's far away from the city of Plainfield. The path is only about a quarter of a mile long, but it's certainly wonderful for taking the time to bike through these tiny tracks. The Whitelet Creek model of the trail is being copied by the town of Avon. Now, Avon is building part of the Vandalia Trail as well, and hopefully it will connect with the Whitelet Creek of Plainfield. Possibly that might even continue north into Brownsburg. If so, then Avon would connect with the B&O Trail, which is also a major trail.
Yeah.
We crossed back on a short bridge, but then we bypassed the long red bridge which we crossed originally. We bear away from that and onto a southward trail. This trail is known as the Blue Heron. The track wanders through some fields, around some ponds. It ends up in a neighborhood section, but it parallels East County Road 500 South. This westward run gets on the highway and goes to a T intersection. Now we go north where we come to the Sugar Grove Trail. The Sugar Grove goes through a neighborhood. It ends up at the same East County Road 500 South. Plainfield has really developed into a metropolis religious center. The headquarters of the North American Islamic Society is located here. Then you have the Quaker influence, which is important. They were the group that Plainfield was named for, just plain folk. Plainfield also embraces a wide variety of Protestant churches. From this location, we head back north. Some other neighborhoods are nearby, but then we come to the Hummel Trail system. On this portion of the trail, we're crawling through these dense woods, but it eventually brings us back to the main trail in Hummel Park. Hummel Park is actually owned by Guilford Township, so it's a township park. It's not part of the Plainfield Park system. But it certainly is connected to and complements the overall Plainfield recreational and natural experience. Following County Route 600 south, we come to Hadley Road, and so to Reeves Road, where Plainfield High School is. Plainfield is run by a city council. The town has a city manager named Rich Carlucci.
Yeah.
He's actually been the city manager for a number of years, and he likes trails. So his push for trails has been consistent, and it's been quite strong. You can say the extent to which trails are built and the progress of the trail system in Plainfield is because of Rich Carlucci. We head north on the Clarks Creek Trail through a field. You ride along the edge of the wood, then through a tunnel. This is all under Reeves Road, which is the school's main entranceway. The trail bends around north of the high school. There's a gap to cross. You go west on Reeves Road to Center Street, bike north to Stanley Road where the Clarks Creek Trail picks up again, and continue on Southfield Road, which is the Hendricks County Medical Health Center neighborhood.
This is the tunnel trail.
We follow the pathway to a tunnel under Highway 267. Thanks to the Indiana DOT, it's an easy way to cross 267 and to get to the other side of Plainfield. This side of Plainfield has been developed in an expansive, sprawling manner. There are many shopping centers, there are commercial and warehouse buildings. You then go on to Metropolis Road, where Clarks Creek Trail ends. You can keep biking north on Perry Road. Perry curves around to Township Road, and that's where we pick up the Vandalia Trail. There's a trailhead here. We follow the Vandalia for about 3 miles or so. The old Pennsylvania Railroad was an earlier name of the Vandalia Railroad. Now it's the Vandalia Trail. At this point, we're biking southwest. It crosses several highways, and in this particular segment, it runs through sprawl areas in modern-style neighborhoods. Then under Highway 267 again.
This is 267 north.
The trail splits as it approaches Center Road.
And we have to show it on the film.
One way goes south and west to Franklin Park. Partly it follows the edge of the old right-of-way along the tree line. Then, where a bridge was at one time, it drops down into a neighborhood, crosses Center Street, and then it goes on through the neighborhood. Finally, it comes to a small trail that curves between houses to Franklin Park from the north. Franklin Park is part of the old Plainfield area. From here, we cross White Lick Creek again and come to the junction with White Lick Creek Trail. If you turn north and follow the Vandalia Trail around the curve, you go uphill and find yourself back at the Aquatic Center. It's also possible to go further west from the Aquatic Center. You bike about 1.5 miles to County Road 600 east. Plainfield's network of trails is this T-system, with the Vandalia being several miles on the north side. There it runs west, and then you have White Lick Creek being something in the center of the T where it tracks south. And then they have a variety of trails on streets and roads and bikeways too that form loops or connect with the neighborhoods. All of these interconnected ways create a really wonderful way of providing transportation and recreation in and around Plainfield. In fact, the Plainfield system is something of a model for other communities. Besides the Quaker influence, Plainfield has been directly influenced by the airport. Land wasn't really developed near the airport until recently, so that area has become housing. With the change of the airport, the east side of Plainfield will be redeveloped into hotels, car rentals, and other service businesses for the airport itself. Plainfield is large enough to provide plenty of services for its residents and certainly anybody traveling along US 40 across Indiana. It's an excellent place to stop for its variety of shops. It has lots of food service businesses and hotels. So Plainfield definitely has a lot going for it, and it's quite an interesting place to visit.